Hi, I'm Chris Dickinson from Pan Artisan. I'm going to show you how to make a pizza from frozen dough balls. Firstly, we take our frozen dough from the freezer and place into a food grade tray. These size trays take approximately 12 dough balls, and we need to place them in the tray, allowing enough room around the dough ball for it to prove later on in the process. When we've got our dough into our tray, it's very important that we put our frozen dough back into the freezer before it defrosts. Now we have our frozen dough balls put in our tray. It's very important before we put it into the fridge to cover it with a lid or another tray to prevent the drying out or cracking of the dough. This now goes into the fridge for 12 hours depending on the size of the dough balls. While our dough is defrosting in the fridge, our yeast is maintained under a constant temperature between 1 and 5 degrees. This is very important to prevent the dough from proving. It is also allowing our flour and water ice crystals to slowly dissolve back into their normal states. Our dough has been in the fridge for a minimum of 12 hours, and we have removed it and put it at room temperature for 1 to 2 hours. This enables the dough to prove and the yeast activity to begin. Our dough ball would look like this after it has proved. We then take some semolina flour and put it on the table. We then carefully remove our dough ball using a plastic scraper, keeping it in the shape of a circle from our tray, and place into the semolina flour. We can coat this both sides to enable the dough disc not to be sticky. We then press down, only using our fingertips and not the palms of our hands, to create a disc about 9 inches in diameter. Now we have a disc about 9 inches in diameter. We lift the dough disc and fluidise the flour underneath. This is to allow the dough disc to move across the surface much easier. We then are ready to stretch, only using our fingertips on our hands and never putting our hand flat. If we do put our hand flat, we will stretch the middle of our dough disc and make it very thin, and it will probably tear. So it's very important we only stretch the outside of the dough disc using our fingertips. You lightly press down, stretch, and then rotate. You rotate it to where your left hand was, and that goes in the middle of your next stretch. And again, it's press, stretch, rotate. This action is continued until we have achieved our 12-inch pizza. When we have the correct size, we now need to remove all excess flour, and this is done like so. We are now ready to top our pizza. Firstly, we take our pizza sauce and put it in the middle of our stretch pizza and spread it out from the centre, leaving about a thumbnail's width around the edge. You can then use either mozzarella cheese or a blend of cheese, mozzarella cheese and cheddar, and you place that on top of your pizza in the centre. Carefully, you push out the cheese to cover all the sauce, making sure none of your cheese goes over the edge because that will stick to the bottom of your oven. So basically the sauce is your glue to hold on your cheese. The pizza I'm going to show you today is a Peking pizza using duck. So here's our duck. We scatter that over the surface of the pizza. And we're now ready to put the pizza into the oven. How do we get this pizza into the oven? Well, that's by the use of a pizza peel. And carefully, what we have to do is tease the peel underneath the pizza, bring it towards us and flick it onto the peel until it is on the pizza peel. We then take it over to the oven and then carefully slide it off in the reverse. It's been cooking in there for about 5 minutes at a temperature of 310 degrees, straight on the stone. This is a Peking pizza, so it needs topping out with spring onions, and cucumber. And of course the magic ingredient, some hoisin sauce. And there is our Peking pizza. How many things can you make from a dough ball?